G'day mates, it's me Agent G, and today we will be taking a look at a book called Sleep by Littlehales. Now, I wanted to say that this video is in no way sponsored or affiliated with this book or author. I've just been doing a bit of reading in the past, couple of months, and I've realized that I find it somewhat difficult to articulate what I've learned when reading a book. So I thought, why not make it into like a mini series where I review a book a week and talk about what I've learned from it and would I recommend it, because I've actually had some of you guys on Snapchat responding to a snap when I'm like posting a snap when I'm reading a book or something. You guys are like, oh, what do you think of the book, would you recommend it, etc, etc. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. If you do think it's interesting after listening to this video, if you think the book's interesting, I will leave a link in the top of the description, or you can get it from a bookstore or whatever. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Now, I want to say my biggest take from this book is that I don't look at sleep as I used to. So I used to look at sleep as this block of time, this 8-hour block of time, right? But now I look at it as a 90-minute cycle. This book is basically Nick's program, which is the R90 recovery program that is formulated from the key sleep recovery indicators, which is in this book, right? We spend 1/3 of our lifespan trying to sleep, and scientific research have been drawing links between poor sleeping habits and an array of health and psychological issues, from type 2 diabetes, obesity, heart disease, all the way through to anxiety and burnout. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to, in my opinion, go through the top 3 sort of key sleep recovery indicators, which I'll be applying within my sort of sleeping schedules, and I'd probably recommend you do too. So the first one is, think of sleep in 90-minute cycles. So the average person would ideally get 35 cycles per week. 28 to 30 is okay, and anything under that, you're kind of pushing yourself, right? Now you may be thinking, why 90-minute cycles? Why not 100-minute cycles or 60-minute cycles? Well, 90 minutes is the length of time it takes for a person under clinical conditions to go through the stages of sleep that constitute a cycle. Now, there are 4 stages of sleep, and the first one is dozing off, you got light sleep, deep sleep, and REM. Now, there's more about these stages in the book, so I'm not going to go through each stage. So if you want to read the book, you can read the book. But let's say, for example, I'm going to bed 12 a.m., right? And I wake up 7:30 a.m. That's 5 cycles. But if I were to, say for instance, wake up at 1:30 a.m. and go to the bathroom, I wouldn't go back to bed because I would have missed my 2nd cycle. So I'd prepare to go to bed to reach my 3rd cycle at 3 a.m. to not just sit in bed wasting time. Because I don't know about you guys, like sometimes I just lay in bed and I'm just sitting there, right? I'm just sitting there, I'm just like wasting time. And I've done so many Snapchats where I'm like, guys, it's 3 a.m. right now, I'm laying in bed, I can't go to sleep. And yeah, that's basically because of my circadian rhythms, which there's a whole chapter on in this book, which I won't go through because we're only doing the 3 indicators, right? So the next indicator, the second indicator, is, what was it? Pre-sleep and post-sleep routines, right? So what that means is, say for example, you're going to bed 12 a.m. You want to be in bed at 12 a.m. You don't want to be jumping into your bed at 12 a.m., right? You want to be sleeping at 12 a.m. So to do this, you go through a pre-sleep routine, and you want this to be 90 minutes before the first cycle should start. So you want to be in bed at about 15 minutes before, but you want to sort of do your sort of pre-sleep routine 90 minutes before. So what that sort of constitutes of is, it would be not using technology 90 minutes before, or you know, if you can't handle that, an hour before, or it would be not eating 90 minutes before. It would be light exercise such as stretching or going for a walk. Clear your mind from the day prior, just so you know you're prepared. And darkness as well. Darkness is a big factor. You don't want to be exposed to any artificial light, you know, within that 90-minute sort of slot. And now you might be asking, but what about when I brush my teeth? Well, maybe you want to do that bit earlier, because yeah, when you're being exposed to the light, it kind of affects the reproduction of melatonin, which helps you fall asleep, right? And then post-sleep is, you know, when you wake up, right, you as soon as you wake up, you don't want to be rushing, you don't want to be running, because that will make you grumpy. You want to kind of wake up and ease into it, right? So say for instance, you start work, you want to wake up 90 minutes before you start work and have that sort of, you know, post-sleep routine. And that would pretty much be, you know, waking up, going to the toilet, having breakfast, exposing yourself to natural daylight, even if it's going for a walk to kind of get your blood rushing and stuff. And you also want to avoid using technology for about at least 30 minutes after you wake up. So that's pretty much the second indicator. Now, I'll go through the last one, the final one, because I don't want to make this too long. So the final indicator would have to be naps, or also known as controlled recovery period. Now, scientific research actually shows that just by taking a 30-minute nap throughout the day will increase your performance by 34% and your alertness by about 54%. And your sleep urge is actually at its highest point between the times 1 and 3 and 5 and 7 p.m. So you know how you guys might actually feel tired around lunchtime or evening? That's actually because your sleep urge is at its highest point. Now, there's actually a pretty cool chart that shows the sort of, you know, times when it's at its highest point, and that's all based off of scientific research. So yeah, it's actually pretty good to take breaks every 90 minutes just to kind of refresh your concentration levels. So, you know, whether it's taking a walk, you know, leaving the office if you work in an office, or take a break from work and just take a walk, cut off technology for 20 minutes every 90 minutes, just to give you that sort of refreshment. So yeah, I think that's everything. I think we're gonna wrap it up there, because I don't want to make this video too long. I thought I'd just go through, you know, the three points that I think are most valuable to me, but there are 7 in the book, and they're all really valuable. So if you feel like that's all interesting to you, I'd recommend you get this book, give it a read. You can get it on Amazon. I've put the link in the description below. And yeah, I do hope you guys enjoyed this little book review. I hope you liked it. I hope you hit the thumbs up if you did like it. Next week, we will be reviewing this book. So what we have here is Why Winners Win, and that is by, who's this one by? Gary Pittard. So we're going to be reviewing that next week. And yeah, I'll probably see you guys tomorrow for another vlog, by the way. So love you guys, and I'll see you all tomorrow.